Hello, I'm FBXTlicker and welcome back to Minecraft update video. So as you're watching this video, Minecraft 1.13.1 is now out for Minecraft Java Edition, and it's mostly a small update to optimize performance and fix a few bugs and make a few small tweaks, such as squids not being able to spawn in anything that's not a ocean or a river. Previously they could spawn in any water. There's a few tiny changes like that you might care about in this update, but there's one huge change both to Java players, where it's kind of a medium-sized change, but mostly to console edition players because they will be getting the update aquatic soon, and it will include this change because it's going to be a part of the aquatic update, and it's a really big one in my opinion because it makes the aquatic update so much better for all Minecraft console editions. And let me explain exactly what I'm talking about in today's video. I hope you all do enjoy it, like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel. Let's know you do like the Minecraft news, and also turn on notifications if you want to see more of these videos daily on your homepage. So with that said, let's start by talking about what the change is, because it is the ability to spawn coral using bone meal in a warm ocean. So this is warm oceans only. It's not lukewarm oceans, because lukewarm oceans actually spawn with the same sand underneath them. So you need to find specifically warm oceans, which can be hard to spot. They have the kind of lightest blue, greeny kind of surface, and again they're warm and they can contain coral by themselves, but they contain a fixed amount of coral in coral reefs. It's quite hard to find, but on the Java version and on the console editions, assuming they don't massively up the spawn count, you might have one in your world, if even that. So the reason this is such a huge change, the ability to get coral by just placing bone meal on the ground, is because this means that coral, at least the block itself, the plant itself I should say, is now going to be an infinite resource. So why is that a big deal? On console edition, there are limited resources in a world, and although this is kind of some of the fun, it's why I've had a lot of fun building with in the last few years of Minecraft. One of the interesting things about that is it means that if you want to get stuff like coral, blocks, coral fans, all that sort of stuff, then you just have to hope that you find it in the world. There's a lot of examples of blocks like this, that they had to fix, such as blaze powder, glowstone powder, for instance, is dropped by blazes, and one of the fixes that should be coming is the ability to spawn in coral like this, which means that now coral is an infinite resource, both on Java Edition, where it never really mattered, but now it's easier to get more coral, but also on the console edition. So this is quite an interesting change. Again, bear in mind it has to be a warm ocean. If you go to a lukewarm ocean, which looks exactly the same in every way, but just is slightly different, if we do the exact same thing here, you'll see how it just makes tall grass. It has to be an exactly warm ocean. Obviously on the Java version, you can just press F3 and you can check the top left or whatever, but assuming you can't do that, then what you just have to do is try and find the warmest colored ocean. So it's also worth bearing in mind, even though you might figure that these warm oceans, which are covered in sand by the way, and it's kind of weird to make it full with coral here, but even though you might figure you might place it on the sand because it's coral after all, the interesting thing is you can actually spawn coral on any block this way. So part of this ocean monument, as you can see right here, is actually in the warm ocean. If we spawn some stuff there, as you can see, it actually turns, rather interestingly in my opinion, it actually turns into coral, and you can place coral on there. So this is a lukewarm ocean, you get seagrass only. This is a warm ocean, and you're going to get some coral. And in fact, the rather interesting thing to me is the fact that across the divide, it actually does, again, it does the same thing where half of it will be seagrass and half can be coral. So we'll remove this block, for instance, and we'll place some there. We get coral there, but warm, we get seagrass all the way across, which is a really interesting and rather cool change in my opinion. This also means, of course, that when you place these in a warm ocean, you're never going to get seagrass, or you're very rarely going to get seagrass. So just keep in mind, if you want seagrass, now the best biome isn't the warm ocean, but the fact that you get coral is a much better trade-off. And this means, again, like I said, infinite coral. You can cover your entire oceans if you want. Again, I don't recommend this necessarily, although it would be a rather weird idea. You can cover your entire oceans in coral if you really want to, with relative ease. Again, just remove the relatively rare seagrass that does spawn, and literally here it's 3 out of 11, and then you can have yourself an entirely covered in a coral ocean. Why do you want to do that, you might ask? Well, I mean, there's not really many good reasons to do many things in Minecraft, already the world, but it's kind of a cute little thing to make your oceans much more, I guess, beautiful, much more appeasing to look at, and you can do that using this. So yeah, Minecraft 1.13.1, it's an update that does improve performance. It does have a few other, I guess, nice changes. It fixes bugs. It, does a few other things. But the one key change you got to keep in mind is that coral is now, again, it's an infinite resource, both on the Java Edition, where it doesn't really matter too much, hopefully soon on the Bedrock Edition, where it might matter a little bit, and on the console edition, where it really matters, because the worlds are 864 by 864 on most console editions, and just being able to get a little bit more coral, it's a nice change. And you've got to bear in mind, the update aquatic being delayed is mostly a negative thing. It's hard to be oh yeah, it's really good that you have to wait for this thing that otherwise is out everywhere else, but one of the benefits is that 1.13.1 will be included, most likely, again, 99%, which means that stuff like this, you'll be able to do. So have you ever wanted to just make your oceans beautiful? guess what, 1.13.1 or TU68, whatever you want to call it, will add that feature. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was a bit short, but it's one of these important ones I wanted to talk about because the concept concept of a infinite renewable resource and the ones that aren't renewable, I find fascinating, and one of the big things about this update for consoles that's going to really, I guess, be interesting is knowing exactly how they handle limited generated structures, knowing how they handle all this other sort of stuff, and that's, shipwrecks. How are they going to up the spawn count? Are they going to massively up the spawn count? Are they just going to have them be super rare? That's something we'll find out, and of course I'll be letting you know with seed videos and all the like after that does happen. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed the video. This is a ocean monument, but in a lukewarm motion, so it's covered in seagrass and kelp. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's something you can look forward to in 1.13.1 or TU68. Like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel. Let's know you do like these brief little update videos about important things for your survival worlds. I know a lot of you have just as big survival worlds as I do, if not much bigger, and learning about this stuff is really, really quite crucial. And also let me know in the comments down below if this doesn't affect you at all, because I would be curious as to what percentage of you that is. So yeah, if it does affect you, let me know. If it doesn't affect you, let me know so I can never cover this again. I'm just joking. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.